Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Opie. You may have seen me on YouTube, or you may not have. But today, because of Rotor UK, I get to sit down and have a bit of a chat with Harry Tanfield. Harry Tanfield, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you've done.
Hi everyone, I'm Harry and I'm currently in Spain. We've got a nice hotel here in the middle of a training camp. So today's the rest day, and I thought it'd be time to catch up with Chris, and we've been riding the new Rotor cranks this week. So looking forward to getting to the racing soon. Hopefully, we should.
It sounds like you have a little bit of a slur there, Harry, but I think that's just because of the Wi-Fi. You mentioned the cranks. I have some of the cranks here. They are the new Rotor Eldu carbon cranks. We'll come on to those in a little bit. They are lighter, they are stiffer, but we'll come on to the exact figures and more about that in a minute. So Harry and I were teammates way back in 2017 and then 2018. In fact, one of the last pictures I have of myself being a bike rider was sat next to you on the podium at that final Tour Series.
Yeah.
Like a month after you'd won the stage in the Tour of Yorkshire as well.
Yeah. I remember you stopped pretty much just after Tour Series, didn't you?
Yeah, though that's my last race. I stopped at 9 o'clock that night, stopped racing, and the next day I started a new job at 9 in the morning. How's life been for you? I'm just going to move my phone because it's buzzing away over there. How's life been for you since then? Because I haven't actually seen you in the flesh since that day in 2018.
No, no. I thought we might have seen each other at races or something like that, but it's not come about, has it? It's been pretty hectic. I don't know where the time's gone. It feels like it was only, 6 months ago. And actually, it was a pretty long time ago now. I do miss those events, and it was really good fun actually. I used to really look forward to doing the Tour Series races, and obviously we haven't had anything like that since. So I did want to do a few of the Elite Crit Series actually, but I never got around to doing any last year because of COVID, and the year before that because there wasn't many on. So. Maybe we might do the odd town centre crit this year if there's a few that are on.
To be really honest, Harry, selfishly as a British domestic rider now, I wouldn't mind if you didn't turn up. I'd be quite happy if you stayed away. There might be a chance for us to get some results.
Oh, don't be daft.
So, how long have you been over in Spain right now?
I've been out for probably 2 weeks now. I drove over after. It was about the 8th or the 9th of January. I drove to Spain. I was meant to fly over, and obviously everything got cancelled, and it's still cancelled now. So it's been a bit of a nightmare to get here. So I do have to leave to go back to the UK to go and sort myself a visa pretty soon.
Right.
So the clock's ticking on that. So I'm going to fly back at the end of this week, and then hope I can fly back somehow afterwards. But
yeah. A lot has changed, hasn't it, in a very, very short space of time, as in, travel constraints for EU nationals, but also because of the pandemic as well. How did you find last year?
I enjoyed it. Like I still enjoyed being at home actually in the summer. Like it was really nice training with my brother, with my dad and my brother, and just all being home. It was quite nice. I think it was very nice for my dad as well. And I mean, for us, it wasn't like we were trapped indoors. Could go out, go ride 4, 5, 6 hours.
Yeah.
Really good weather. Yeah, it was. Although we weren't racing, it was still fun. Like we had, pizza nights and barbecue and stuff outside. It was still like, I don't know. I think it's what you make of it. Some people can just and we're fortunate that we got a nice house and a garden to be in, and some people don't have that. So we're very fortunate for that. But no, actually wouldn't have changed anything. It was what it was, and I think that we made the best situation out of it.
Yeah, I think that's all you can do, really. What was it like then when you did finally get to race, and how did that feel compared to normal? Was it more nervous in a bunch, or was it less nervous?
Yeah, it was really hectic. Tour of Poland I was straight in for Tour of Poland I came actually straight from altitude in Andorra, and I wasn't really rested up for it that much, I don't think. And we hit Tour of Poland, and I remember that first stage where Jakobsen crashed. Like there wasn't particularly many crashes before then, but in the final 60 Ks running into the end of that race, I've not been in a situation like that where guys just were ending their lives to like take positions and move about. And sure enough, there was a few crashes in the final like 15Ks.
Yeah.
How long before that, I don't know, but oh yeah, I was like, I've never actually been like scared on a bike in a bunch, but I was scared then. But yeah, that's, I guess that. And after that day, and then everything that happened, it did change after that one day. That was the first day back racing for a lot of guys for months and months, and I think everyone just got it out of the system that one day, and then after that, it was much more settled, especially after the big crash.
Yeah.
So it did settle down a bit after that.
Yeah. Well, that's a relief to hear, because everyone has to make it to the end of the race, don't they? Otherwise, there's no contract anyway, is there?
No, exactly. And that was only day one, so there's other opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm going to really briefly plug Rotor again, because I noticed in the Vuelta last year, whilst I don't have the exact copy of what you rode, you had chain rings with your own face actually laser etched onto them, which has to be the all-time coolest bit of bike building I've ever seen. How did that come about?
Yeah, Victor was actually ripping me on the training camp, saying that I stole his chainring. So, but yeah, Victor wanted one for a while, and they hadn't sorted it for Victor. But yeah, I was speaking with one of the head guys in Spain, like Rotor's, the technical division in Spain, because the team only had a 56 or something like that. So I was going all in for this time trial, and I thought that it was a bike change job, and obviously I needed a fast setup for the flat because it was flat beforehand. So I just said, just send me whatever's laying around in the factory, I can make it work. Anything you've got from 58, 59, even 60, I'm not fussed, just whatever you've got. And then they posted me this 60-tooth chainring with a picture of me on it. So it was a one by as well, so I could run it without a front neck, which was perfect. And I was really stiff, and obviously it was massive. And they sent me like an aero adapter kit to put with my 4-volt system, so full aero finish. Like it was mega.
That is the coolest thing ever.
More.
Have you used it much since? I can't think personally. No. I can't think when I'd ever use a 60-tooth chainring.
No, I mean I took it off the bike, but then that was the last time I rode my TT bike as well. Was in the Vuelta last year, because I don't have a home one with Agile Desert. That one went back. So at the moment I've got obviously my new BMC one here, which has got that 2-in power on again, the same power meter. So I could put it on this one here, but I don't know if I want to. I want to put it on the wall. I want to clean it and put it on the wall. I'm going to frame it. I'm going to frame it with my number. Well,
I think I would. If I'd ridden the Vuelta and if I had a chain with my face on it, I would definitely quite happily have it like up in a big cabinet somewhere, looking real shiny, and I could remind myself, oh yeah, I am Harry Tanfield. I was good.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool to do that. And I think the team, I don't know what the situation is with Aero Coach, because they're a sponsor of the team, so I don't know what rings we're riding. Like, I know we're riding Rotor rings on the road and stuff, obviously, but I don't know if Aero Coach is supplying chain rings on the TT front as well. I know they're supplying handlebars. I don't know what the situation is. At the moment, I think everyone's running Rotor 56, 58 tooths at the moment. So
I heard the rule was if your face is on your chain ring, you can run it whenever you want.
That pretty much, I think so.
Right, we're going to interrupt that with a real quick little bit of tech info. So to many people, Rotor is well known for their aluminium manufacturing. I've been to their factory in Madrid, and it was absolutely incredible. They take a square sheet of metal and they turn that into a chain ring. There is zero waste. Everything that gets bagged up and reused either for building materials or for repurposing in roads and things like that. It's truly quite fascinating to go and spend the day walking around the Rotor factory. I don't know if you've been, Harry.
No, I haven't actually. I know it's near Madrid, but yeah. I passed there when I was driving here, but unfortunately it was under about 2 foot of snow. So
maybe if you pop by, they'll do you another chain ring, or maybe even cranks with your face on them. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be pretty sweet. I wouldn't mind one on my road bike. I'd love to ball around on like a 54 or 55 with a picture of myself on. That'd be pretty.
So I went there in late 2019, and at that time there was no mention of carbon fiber manufacture whatsoever. However, these carbon crank arms, they also do a capic on a mountain bike, has taken over 4 years to develop. Now they are 100 grams lighter than the same size aluminium Eldu crank arm. They're also laterally, I'm just gonna have to turn my head here, Vertically and horizontal stiffness has been increased respectively by 11 and 36.1%, which is actually quite a massive increase. Now, I'm not sure exactly the parameters they use to measure stiffness on chainrinks and crank arms, but 11 or 36% increase in stiffness and losing weight strikes me as being pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to racing them. I've not actually had a chance to ride them yet because we're still currently riding the twin powers on our training bikes. Most guys are on their race bike. Fabio and Simon Clark, a few of the other guys, and Victor, they've got the new crank on and they're using it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the team ordered a load of 58 centimeter bikes for me when I won a 61. So they built one up and then realized it was the wrong size. So at the moment, I don't have a race bike.
61 centimeter bike.
Yeah, it's the biggest one that BMC make, but it just means I got super reach on it. I mean, the bike looks a little bit too big. I've only got 10, 15 centimeters of seat post out, not a lot. But it just means I've got a long top tube and I can run a 140. I don't have to run like a silly stem, and it's just really, I mean, it's a bit of a gate, but it rides real well. Rides really well.
Yeah, well, you have to ride what fits, right? And actually, what looks right and what fits sometimes are two different things. And ultimately, at the end of the day, all that matters is that you get your hands in the air or that you help your teammates cross the line first.
Yeah, exactly that.
What's your 2021 race season looking like? Do you know that yet?
At the moment, I'm starting off in UAE, the UAE tour, in about 3 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then straight into some of the Belgian classics, La Semaine and a few others, early March kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, so it's pretty hectic program pretty much from March onwards. I mean, I think you've raced UAE, haven't you, Chris?
It was the Dubai tour, I think, when I did it. Yeah.
Oh, it was Dubai, yeah. Similar thing.
Yeah. It's a nice way to start the season. Nice hotels, good food, nice weather, flat roads.
Dreamy. Yeah, I'll have to bring a 56 then.
Yeah, yeah. I think one day we'd average something like 56 kilometers an hour for the first hour, 54, 56 kilometers an hour, and like 170 watts sat in the back of the bunch.
Oh, really? Oh.
It's really cruisy until the last 20 kilometers, and then it ramps up a little bit towards the end. But it's exciting.
Yeah. I'll have to bring some big chain rings just in case.
How has the winter been after having had such a late season last year compared to normal? Like, how did that affect any training or any time off?
It's been a bit of a weird one. Obviously, the Vuelta finished like in November, I think. I mean, I didn't finish it, but I nearly finished it. So I had pretty much had a couple of days like riding home, and then I went for a lab test. But I was still kind of ill from this virus that I had at the end of the Vuelta. So took 10 days off the bike, and then basically had 2 weeks of just riding around real slowly for about an hour and a half every other day. So a total of 3 weeks easy, and then I flew to Spain. I think about early December, so maybe like the 12th, or it was the first week of December, I think, and then flew back before Christmas, just before like the new COVID variant was discovered, and then the world ended again for a second time.
Yeah.
I got back to England and then realised that I couldn't get back to Spain, and then that was it. Game over. So then I spent a lot of time stressing over Christmas for 2.5 weeks riding in England over Christmas and stuff. You taking flights and trying to take flights and cancelling flights, trying to get out to Spain somehow or somewhere, and constantly revising plans, and then managed to get there just by driving in the end. So it was a pretty stressful period, and the weather was really atrocious. Like, it's not been that bad for years. Every day I never saw more than 2 degrees. It was always between -2 and 2. Just full on like rain. I rode in rain and snow more days than I didn't, I think. Pretty much.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. It was pretty gnarly, really. Yeah.
Here's a good question for you, I feel. How has your training changed since when we were teammates back in 2017-18, which incidentally, we also had Rotor products on our bike back then. I remember we had the Rotor Power cranks back then. Yeah,
I used to run 55, 38 for the whole time.
38.
Yeah, I ran a 38. I'm not sure why, just because I could just get away with it. I mean, a 39 is fine, but 55, 39, yeah. 55, 38 is really pushing the boat. And I think actually, my little brother was still riding that Canyon, and the front mech packed up on it the other week, actually. But, I mean, it'd probably done about like 60,000 K. So to be honest, like it's probably going to be expected. Yeah, it's seen some use, but yeah, the training it's different. Like, I mean, obviously, had a few different coaches since I've been riding at that lower level, and a lot of it is just like a lot of the guys it's big volume on the bike and being able to race that longer distance. I think I've learned a lot about myself and about different fueling and all that kind of thing. But I think that the training that I used to do back then, I'm still trying to. I'm always pushing to try and incorporate those elements into my training now, no matter what the coach is setting, just because I know that works, and I've had good results and I've been in good shape off that, as opposed to just riding your bike around slowly and maybe doing a couple of efforts. Like, I used to be a big advocate of doing a hell of a lot of VO2 efforts and repeated stuff, real top end max work, which isn't done so much. There's a lot of riding your bike slowly in a big gear, quite a lot of that about. But I think there's a time and a place for everything. So after the camp, I think that's when we're going to be really moving into the high end stuff, as opposed to just having off season and then just pretty much jumping straight back into like VO2 and max work.
Shock the body.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, first session back on the bike, just you want to just fall off it pretty much after after the first couple of efforts.
Yeah. What race is it you're looking most forward to this year?
At the moment, the calendar's a bit up in the air, but I'm really looking forward to UAE. Obviously, at the start of the season, first race with the team. And we've had some good fun out here doing lead outs and things like that. It's been really good laugh. And I think that obviously that race suits me well. And moving from there into the classics, so UAE is a good start off, I think. And then I'm going to have like straight into classics pretty much after that. So to be in good shape for UAE, get through that, and then hopefully we can have some good results with Max or Giacomo, whichever one of them two is riding UAE, or both of them. I'm not too sure. But I think that
out on the road.
Yeah, I think that we've got a real good chance. They're sprinting well, and they're really up for it as well. So, and then obviously into the classics. So, classics are the classics.
Yeah,
we've got a nice this year with Hunt and Goodyear come on board with the tyres. So, they're currently working on a prototype like classics tyre at the moment. So, be interesting to see how that comes out. But
yeah,
we've been tyres a little bit on the camp, and obviously Hunt wheels has been great as well. So, it's we've got the tools. Like we've got everything we need to do some good rides in the classics.
Cool. Well, Harry, I just want to say a huge thank you. I know you're massively busy out in the training camp. You've only just gotten back from a long photo shoot, and no doubt you'll be back on your bike tomorrow. Then trying to work out how to get home.
Yeah, now I've got to fill out a visa application form so I can spend more than 90 days in bloody 6 months in the EU. So I've got to become an official. Yeah, I need to finalise my visa. So much admin work to do still.
Well, good luck with that. I'm going to say a real quick thank you to Rotor UK for giving us the chance to sit down and have a chat with Harry, because otherwise this wouldn't have been possible. Hopefully I've done a good enough job of displaying them on the camera. But if you would like to get hold of some carbon crank arms, Rotor UK is your place to go. Sorry, Harry, I interrupted you there slightly.
No, it's a Velotech. It's where I get all my gear from. No, Robin and sort everything out. No, I'm looking forward to getting those crank arms on my bike. I mean, obviously, I don't have my race bike yet, but I'm going to be the only one without them. So I am jealous of the other guys that are rolling around on nice new Rotor, nice new Rotor Spider Power Meter and carbon crank arms, and I'm pushing around on the old 2-in powers. But to be quite honest, I've had my 2-in power for 2 years at home, and it's never gone wrong. It's been great. So I know that I've checked my numbers with my TT bike and my road bike, and the numbers are all consistent. So for me, I'm happy with how everything is right now, and the new power meter will come when my new race bike comes. So looking forward to getting on that.
I might go and throw these on my bike now, just so I can say that I've got mine before you.
Yeah, you can do. Me. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Awesome. Harry, thank you so much. I'm going to finish our little interview just there. Oh, cool. Actually, I don't need to press any buttons. It's actually really easy. So, Harry, thank you so much for taking the time to do that. It's really appreciated. I think
No problem.